Hey now, this is Guess What Podcast Kickback Therapy Session. YouTube Live, Facebook Live. Waiting on Dr. Dorian. She just texted in, said she had a last minute patient. She's headed this way. Yeah. Guess What Podcast? We're going to start the show real soon. Just waiting on Dr. Dorian. Had a last minute patient. Waiting on her to come on through. Kickback therapy session. Guess what? Hey now. Excited. Real excited for what we got coming. How's everybody doing? Good. Hey. I'm always bouncing, man. Even the lo-fi. You know what I'm saying? Even the lo-fi. So we're gonna get started here shortly. Just waiting on Dr. Dorian to enter the building. Running a little bit late. She said she had a last minute patient. Yeah. Look forward to seeing her in the building. We're just gonna vibe to a little bit of music therapy. You know what I'm talking about? Bet. Hey now. I promise you, we not on CP time. Oh, this is fun. Oh man, it's not even a such thing as dead air. Hey, real quick, let's see if we can do this. Uh, this is Guess What Podcast. You can follow me on Instagram at Azia Wellness 365. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Guess What Podcast. If you want to be a guest on our show in studio or stream in, just holler at us, let us know. Visit Linktree /Azia Wellness to register to be a guest. Yeah. As always, thank you for watching. Please leave a comment. Tell us how we can get better, what type of content you're looking for. This is the Guess What Podcast, a variety podcast show. You know what? I'm going to do something real special. Check this out. If you want to direct text the Guess What Podcast 24/7, whenever you want to, just go ahead and text us at 480-799-8713. Please support, like, follow, and share. That's all we're looking for. Yeah. I like this. Like I said, we're gonna get the show started here real soon. Just waiting on Dr. Dorian. Got some good subjects we're gonna talk about, some good content. I actually just got a text from her right now. That's all right. We got some good content. We're going to talk about her brand, what all she has going on. She's gotten a new office, or she has a new office. So looking forward to that. She's a traveler, so she did a little bit of summer traveling. We're going to discuss some of those things and the highs and the lows of the summer experiences and what we learned from them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then some learning lessons, and then perspective thoughts, or excuse me, getting the perspective on certain thoughts. I got a term, the art of completion. Again, the art of completion. What does that look like? What is that? The art of completion. Is there such thing as a strategy or a plan in place, a process to complete things? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, just hold tight. We only about 5 minutes off schedule, so it's all good. Plus, you get to look at me. Hey now. But yeah, I'm excited to see what we got going on, and to see what we have coming up. We're also going to discuss have a conversation about triggers. Can you identify and acknowledge your triggers, and how do you improve upon those? Again, this is the Guess What podcast kickback therapy session. We're going to do this on Thursdays and Sundays at 7 Pacific. Uh-oh, somebody's knocking. Here we go. Hold on. Oh, I'm coming.
All that talking, tell my business. You ain't even had the door unlocked.
How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
So good to see you. Go ahead.
Oh
Man, you text me something. You can go right there.
Okay.
That's where you're at. Headphones are good to go. You got a hot mic, just so you know they're directly behind you.
Okay.
Let me make sure I lock this in here. You're good there.
Talking. I mean, I was watching on Facebook. I said I was almost here.
That's what's up. All right. So let's go ahead and do a little sound check for you real quick.
Can you hear me? Sound check.
Yeah.
Check.
There it is. We're good. All right. So, what is up? This is
Guess What podcast.
And now we're back. Oh, let me get you a little bit. Boom. Yeah. You wasn't ready?
No, I mean I'm born ready, but
okay.
You don't even have this light, and I'm all
done. Oh, you want some light? We can.
We good.
Oh, wait,
I'm just saying.
I can change it. What's wrong with my light? I like my light.
No. Let's leave it the way it is.
Oh man. So wait, how you been? What's going on with you?
It's been forever.
It has.
I'm a co-host and nobody on the show.
You know what? That's kind of your fault, because you always jet setting. Every time I see you,
you're tripping. I be going on the weekends. You don't even record on the weekends.
You absolutely right. I do on Sundays a little bit.
But I come on Mondays or Thursdays, so you can't use my traveling as an excuse for you not having me on the show.
That's what's up.
That's what's up. Here.
You're right. Well, you back now. You back
I've
now.
Been back. I'm never gone.
Okay. All right. My bad. My bad. You here now? Is that better? You here now? You here today? We are. Do you need to decompress for a second? I know you just got off.
I did.
Just finished
as soon as I got done.
Hey, thank you so much. Thank you for that. I greatly appreciate that.
I love being here.
Really? Okay. You know what? We're gonna talk about that in a second. Hold on. Let me go ahead. Yes, we are. Let me go ahead and run the intro.
Talk about this first.
I can hear myself. It's so cool.
What? Did you? What?
I got us on mute.
Shut up.
I said I got us on mute right now.
Okay.
Just letting that run. I'm excited.
I know you probably got some stuff cooked up over there. I'm ready for you. Though.
Just a little bit.
I'm about to say I'm ready for you. I came ready. We have the fire tonight.
That's classic. All right. All right. Yes. We are back. We are here. Guess What podcast?
Hey, Franya.
Oh, she's on. She's checking us out. That's what's up. Okay. I can dig that. Tell her I said hello. Man, she had a powerful session. That's true, bro. I gotta get used to my own shit. You're right. Hey, Friday. Hey, Friday. How you doing? Hey, Friday. That's what's up. You're just like, wait a minute. You talking to people? My bad. You're right. You are absolutely right. You know what? Yeah, just a little bit. So, I already gave the rundown. You know, I technically, I really like things to be organic. I really do like things to be organic. I really do. But I'd already hit you up about 3-4 weeks ago to plan this and said, hey, first off, I want to talk about your brand. Thoroughly impressed with just the growth I've seen since March, because that was the last time you was here.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. No, you did a session with us in May as well. You came back for Entourage too.
I'm supposed to be a guest host.
Yeah. Look,
October.
you can stream in, but you've been everywhere though. Where have you been?
If I can stream in, why does me going places stop you? You just keep digging the hole.
I'm gonna keep it real. We just got this technology to stream.
Okay.
Matter of
fact,
why
I haven't
check this out, guest host. Check this out, guest host. You're the first guest in this manner, like this, where you can see. Yeah, but not on this platform. It's a completely different platform. See?
I'll take it, but you didn't do a special. It just happened to fall on the line.
Okay.
It's okay. I still love y'all. No love lost.
All right. So first off, you moved.
So I moved.
Decide what is it?
Well, I moved, but I'm still available in most of the locations. So
okay.
I'm still in Queen Creek.
Okay.
So I still have that office, but I did open up my own office.
Okay.
Because I was always outside in someone else's office seeing patients through their office.
Okay.
So I now have my own. With that came my own rent. I should have thought about that first. Here we are.
That rent creep up on you real quick, don't it?
Every week. Wait a minute, that was just last week.
I say so. I got a studio, and it's crazy, but the lady, she sends me like the little lease deal or the receipt of like 3 or 4 days before to let you know, hey, it's coming up. Get ready for it, right? And it seems like she's always sending it a couple of days early. Right? I mean, it's not the first yet.
You're gonna wait. You're gonna the first. I'm gonna hold on to this one a little bit longer. It's mine until the first.
Right.
But no, I did get a new office.
So where are you at?
I'm in Mesa.
Really?
Mesa Gilbert, but Mesa, because on Baseline, one side of the street is Mesa, the other side of the street is Gilbert.
Yes.
So I'm off of Baseline, Greenfield and Baseline, not right across from the DMV.
Okay.
It's on there on East Auto Valley Drive.
Okay.
So I have an office there. It's nice. It's everything that I wanted. It's girly. It's pink. It's soft. It's warm and welcoming. It's just a nice place.
All right. So now let's review for some of my new listeners because I have them.
Oh, I believe it. You'd have more if I've been around.
You know what? And I believe that. Hey, it's okay though. I'll take it. I believe that. I definitely believe that. But the services that you provide, because there's one that it's the first is coming up. I got registered for.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that one. So, for those who do not know who I am,
yes.
I am Dr. Dorian Richardson. I am a naturopathic physician, meaning I choose to not use medicine if I don't have to. That's all that means. I'm still a doctor. I can use medicine. I just choose not to if I don't have to. I specialize in sex and reproductive health, hormones, and mental wellness. So I see a lot of patients for hormone imbalances, when their libido goes bad, their vagina gets dry, their penis doesn't work. They come see me, I put them back together again. I make happy relationships. I also, on the side, which is what you're talking about, I do medical marijuana certifications. So I can certify people for the use of medical marijuana. Some people don't think they need the certification anymore now that it's legal, right? Yeah. But if you bought it rec, you know that you pay a lot of money. You pay 24% in taxes.
Taxes is ridiculous.
24% taxes just because you're not a medical patient.
I have a card.
Compared to 8, with a card, we only pay 8. Only pay 8% with our card. So it's 8%
like that.
Tax with the card instead of the 24% taxes that you would get. And also, when you go rec, you only have access to a certain limited amount of products.
Correct.
Where with medical, you can get everything that you need as long as it's not outside of your limit for the 2 weeks. So I do medical marijuana certifications as well. I do mental wellness. I do a little everything, but hormone balancing is my sweet spot.
Okay, sweet spot being the hormone balancing. There's two things that you said there that I want to speak on. One with the hormone balancing and your penis don't work in libido. So let me just go ahead and get into it. I have this friend, right?
I love these friends.
Right. I have this friend. Right. I have this friend. No. I'm gonna keep it real. But I'm curious to know. The last time you was here, you spoke on if those things don't work, you dive into totality, holistic. Like let's start with the background. What's going on in your life? Is there something in your workplace that it may be triggering? Which leads to the conversation I wanted to have about triggers. Can triggers affect you sexually?
Yes.
Okay.
Triggers are stress. Stress affects you. Stress kills you. Stress changes your life. Stress can stop you from having sex.
Yeah.
Sex can make stress better. It's a give or take, but stress can definitely affect your sex life because when you're under a lot of stress, you release stress hormones throughout your body.
Right.
Lots of high levels of cortisol, some epinephrine, norepinephrine. You're always in fight or flight mode. Always. No matter if you have to fight or run, you're always in fight or flight mode because that's the way our bodies are designed to protect us.
Okay.
And they try to protect us from stress. And what that does is it increases your your glucose levels.
Yeah.
So your blood sugar goes up. It affects your sex hormones. So now they go down.
Yeah.
And once your sex hormones go down, your sex goes down. They affect your mood. They affect your sleep. You can't get any sleep. So if you're not sleeping, you're tired all the time. You don't want to have sex.
Right.
It can affect your ability to orgasm. It just affects all parts of your sex life because of stress.
Okay.
And so it affects your thyroid, which that affects your stress. That affects so much other stuff. So it's all interconnected. Stress can just suck.
All right. So now, and I know, forgive me if I say it wrong. Hopefully you'll help me. You're not an herbologist, but you work with herbs.
I'm not an herbologist. I'm a doctor.
I know.
But I work with herbs.
You work with herbs.
I use a lot of, mostly all of my treatments are with plants and herbs.
And you refer to them as females. I remember that.
Some of them. There are male herbs.
Really?
Yeah. It depends on, I have, the ones that I like the most tend to be female.
Okay.
Personality to me, especially in the sex realm, because I feel like, I've told you before in this place, I feel like women are more sexual beings than men. Yeah. They're more repressed, but they're more sexual. Once they get free, it takes a lot for a man to be able to keep up with a woman who's free sexually.
I want to go there. How you get them free? How do you like tell me the secret?
So
and then
tell you the secret. There's nothing that you can do. See, I feel like you even asking the question is a part of the reason why they're not free.
Oh, damn, dig. That was a super dig. Wait a minute.
In particular, but
yeah.
It's part of the problem where women have to be, one of the biggest things women need in order to be sexually free is safety.
Yeah.
And so if they don't feel safe in their relationship with their partner and the environment, they are only going to give so much. They're not going to give everything because they don't feel safe.
Yeah.
So safety is really important. But another thing is women have lots of different traumas, lots of social norms that are placed on them and societal roles that are placed on them. And until they get broken free from those and healed from those traumas, they'll never be able to be their free sexual self. If you look back in like history, women were worshipped for their ability to reproduce and have sex. They were goddesses because they could have sex. They were having sex all over the place.
Correct.
They would the gods back then would be called hoes today because they were just having sex. Yep. Because that's what they were created to do and they had that ability.
Right.
But with their sex, they created change. They fixed people. They healed people. They manifested so much because women have that power in their vagina. But the problem was
we got the power to fix me.
I mean, we can't fix a person, but you can fix a situation.
Ooh.
You can't fix a person if a person doesn't want to be fixed. No one has that kind of control.
There you go.
But you can fix situations. You can manifest things in your life with the power of sex.
Okay.
But what happens is the man, I'm not going to talk about the color of his skin, but the man didn't like the fact that Black women, per se, were goddesses. And so now they started making all of these rules, and then we can throw in Christianity in there. And now you've got all these religious regulations that now made sex wrong. Yeah. And it made women feel bad and shame for being sexual. And so now men can be sexual, but women can't. Right. And so over time, women have just repressed that sexual side of them. Some women are free, some aren't. Some still feel bound by the rules, even if they won't admit why they're there, they're just on them and they don't do it. So it just takes a lot of working through a lot of things. Yeah. And a lot of deprogramming and a lot of accepting, being able to be who you are without worrying about what people think, say, or do. In order to be the sexual person that they were created. Me? Okay.
Yeah.
And it took some time to get here.
I was going to ask you,
I
like,
haven't always not cared.
what does that process look like? How do you get? And I know it's different for individuals, but what was yours per se?
So for me particularly, I was born on the front row of the church. I lived in church. I ate in church. I breathed in church. I pooped in church. I was all
Gotcha.
church. So I had a lot of religious deprogramming I had to do, and I did not break myself free of my belief in God. I still believe in God. I still have a relationship. I still pray. I still have faith, but I had to deprogram myself from a lot of the man-made rules, regulations, and interpretations of what a relationship with God looks like.
Okay.
So I had to deprogram myself that. I had to heal myself from my own traumas,
Okay.
my own hurts, my own relationship baggage, things that happened in my childhood, things that didn't happen in my childhood. So I had a lot of deprogramming to do. It took therapy. It took work. It took a lot of heartache, actually. It took a lot of beating up on me, so to speak, to get me to a place to even want to fix. I'm like, oh, I need to be fixed.
Right.
I need to fix some things because I keep going through these relationships. But then fixing those things kind of brought me out. And then just doing a lot of research and studying. And I always was a sexual-minded person, but I always felt ashamed of it. I felt like, oh my God, I can't be this way. Why am I this way? And one day I had to realize that I can make money being who I am. Hence the reason I'm a whole sex doctor. Like I can be me and it be okay and be accepted. And so once I realized that I could be me and be accepted, I just like dived in. And I'm here. Does that mean I'm not out in the streets fucking everybody? Did I say that on?
Yeah, you did.
Beat that out when you had it.
Okay, I got you.
I'm not out
on
in
the
streets.
Spotify version. Okay.
Sleeping with people and just being random. I'm not being reckless because I'm still safe and I honor what I have because what I have is a powerful, powerful weapon. It changed lives, so it's powerful.
Right.
So I'm not just out here free with it, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay being who I am with it. I'm okay using my sexuality. I'm okay manifesting things to the power of sex. I'm okay with the person that I choose to use it with, giving them that special part of me and being a freak. I'm okay with that. Like
you can't slide that shit in there.
I didn't slide that in there. I said that real loud, real proud. I'm okay. Like,
wait, being a freak. So what is?
Yeah, I'm okay being a freak. It's okay.
What
Everyone should be okay with being a freak.
What does that consist of?
It's different
because I'm having a
everybody.
hard time accepting it. I'm realizing over the past 2-3 years, you know what? Like this is you.
It's a different definition. Everyone has a different definition of freaky. Because some people think they're a freak because they do it doggy style. That's not freaky to me. That's regular. Like it's just different per person. But whatever your definition of freaky is, own that and be that.
Right.
Be that. When the doors are shut, what I do in my bedroom
It's
with
what
my
I do.
significant is what I do, and it's our business.
Right.
No holds barred. We got safe words, and that's it. We do what we want to do, and that's okay. You gotta have a safe word.
What is that? Like that bothers me. Not bothers me. It worries me a little bit. It's like, damn, why we need a safe word? Like, what's about to happen?
See, that's because you're just not every different levels. There's different levels. But if you want to try something different, if you don't like it, it might not even be like something where you're gonna get physically hurt. But it could just be something you don't like. Like, I don't like the way this feels. Yeah. Pineapple. Say it.
Pineapple.
Like I don't know what your safe word is.
No, ironically, it is pineapple.
That's hilarious. So you just say, but you be okay with that. Like I'm not ashamed that I like to talk about sex. I used to be ashamed that I like to talk about sex. I used to be ashamed that I enjoyed having sex. Like, oh my God, I'm a woman. Am I supposed to be liking sex? Who says that? Who made that up? Why do men are the only ones who get to enjoy having sex?
Right.
That's not fair. That's not equal. There should be an equal balance. Women should enjoy it just as much as men.
Have you noticed a shift, like just in women altogether with that approach?
In general, yeah. I think in general you're seeing a big shift in women just accepting their sexuality.
Yeah.
And it's coming. We've got this whole thought phase, and these hoes over here, and they're doing things for $40, and we're going through this phase. But not every woman who's accepting their sexuality is a hoe, even though they may be being called that. But that's because some people are just having a hard time accepting that women are becoming who they are.
Okay.
Eventually, it'll become normalized and it'll be okay. Again, you accepting your sexuality and being sexually free doesn't mean that you give yourself to everybody. It's actually on the contrary, because now you realize who you are, how powerful you are, what you have.
So now you're even more precious with it.
I could destroy nations. Yeah. I can't do that shit. I can't let everybody
have it.
Like,
for real, I've seen Troy.
So I can't let everybody have it. So with that, once you understand who you are and when women become confident in themselves sexually, they aren't hoes. They just are free and comfortable with whoever they are. I can talk about sex, and that doesn't make me hoe. It just means I can talk about it. I get called mannish a lot,
Really?
and that's okay.
What's that definition?
Apparently,
you gotta help me.
Apparently, because I don't use the word. Apparently,
Okay.
I'm managed because I will say some freaky stuff. I will talk about sex. I don't care who's in the room. If it comes up, it comes up.
Right.
Like, I may censor kind of what I say, but for who I am it's who I am. Like
Right.
who I am on this podcast is who I am in person. It's who I am with my patients. It's who I am. And I'm okay with that. And for some people who weren't raised in a place where women are free sexually and can say whatever they want, it comes off as mannish, but I'm not.
How does that work with the balance of who you are, accepting who you are personally, privately, having the position you do have professionally as a doctor?
I struggled professionally.
Oh,
I still struggle, and I'm
okay.
working on it. But it was a simple conversation that my brother told me. It was so simple.
Yeah.
He said, "But Dorian, you're a sex doctor. You can be you, and it'd be okay.
Right.
You have a little bit more freedom in who you are." Because in my mind, I thought that as a doctor, I needed to act a certain way. I had to portray myself as a certain way. I had to speak a certain way. I couldn't 100% be me because this is what you see a doctor is supposed to be.
Yeah.
But what I realized is I could build my brand on who I wanted to be. And I'm not going to be for everybody. Everybody can't take me.
Right.
And that's okay because I can't take everybody either.
Okay.
I'm just as picky as they are. Right?
Okay.
Nope, you can't be my patient because you and I are not going to flow together. But it's still, and I'm still working on it because I still have some, oh my goodness, can I be this sexual person and still be a doctor? Like I have an event coming up at the end of October where I'm speaking to hundreds of doctors across the state of Arizona.
October?
Mm-hmm.
Where?
It's for doctors only, but it's in Scottsdale. Well, no, it's virtual. It's virtual now, so it's not in Scottsdale anymore. But it's our conference that we have for our organization where we can get continuing education credits and all that.
Okay.
And I was like, they're not going to ever ask me to come talk about sex, but I'm gonna throw my name in the bucket. And when they were like, yeah, and then as soon as I got thank you. Then when I got accepted, I was like, shoot, they accepted me.
Yeah.
Now, even when I was building my presentation, I'm struggling because I still feel like I have to act and speak and be a certain way instead of just allowing myself to just be me. Okay. I am not your traditional doctor, and I'm not going to get up there and say these big fancy words that they say to try to confuse you. I know them. I know what they mean. They don't take all that.
Right.
I'm going to get up there and speak to the regular person. I'm going to be entertaining. I'm going to make them laugh. I'm going to give them the information that they need. I'm going to educate, but I have to be okay with just being myself. And when I'm not myself, that's when things get a little shaky.
Okay.
So I still struggle with it because there's these standards and these expectations put on you by other people and that you put on yourself. And I'm really struggling with not thinking that I have to be perfect and everything. That's one of my personal struggles. So I'm still struggling, working through it, but I'm sliding my way in more and more.
Okay. All right. So first off, I already said congratulations in regards to your conference that's now virtual. And we even dove into.
Oh, I'm speaking October 10th. Is that Saturday? Whatever that Saturday is, the women's expo that they have downtown every year, the big women's expo, like 15,000, 20,000 people. Yeah. I'm speaking there about sex too.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that.
Wait,
that's gonna be good. Because these aren't doctors. I'm talking about natural things you can do, foods you can eat, herbs you can do, things you can do to make your sex life better.
Give me something.
Well, you already know my herb Damiana. We talk about her.
Yes.
She is great for orgasms.
Okay.
We will talk about hydration, just how water helps with sex and help make sex better. Hydration and electrolytes.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the decreasing sugar to help with your sex life. We'll talk about the mental emotional components. So we'll talk about letting things go, journaling, affirmations.
Journaling and affirmations will increase your sex life?
Because what happens is, so I've said this before, the organs cry tears, the eyes never shed, right?
Ooh.
The organs cry tears, the eyes never shed.
Okay.
Your sexual parts are organs.
Yes.
They can hold on to trauma just like any other organ in your body.
Really?
So you have to be able to release things emotionally. If you don't release things emotionally, you hold on to it. Women hold a lot of things in their pelvic region. They hold the stress of the world. They hold their worries. They hold their hurts, their pain in their uterus. And so that affects their sex life, their ability to enjoy sex, their ability to orgasm, their ability to be free sexually. It affects their sex life. So
I think someone takes it in with a question. Go ahead.
So you need to be able to release some of those things.
Yeah.
And so journaling helps with that. It helps get rid of some emotions. It helps you process things. It doesn't replace therapy, but it helps with therapy. So journaling is very important to let things go. And so journaling, affirmations, speaking confidence, when you're confident, you can do anything, including sex. You feel
Sex
you
game
like,
goes up a little
man,
bit.
you
Hey,
can't tell me nothing. I'm about to go in here and put in this work.
Yeah, I've had a couple moments.
Exactly. Confidence.
It'll do something to you.
It'll make your sex life better.
Yeah.
So affirmations are going to help with that. Affirmations help with that.
Perfect. You know what? It came to me as you were speaking.
Okay.
I know how we can benefit each other. I do work from a mutual beneficial platform. I know how we can benefit each other.
I'm ready for this.
Okay.
This is going to be good. Y'all listen.
I thought you see, and that is why I'm about to present what I'm about to present, because you even knew to address everyone. So this is how this works. I would like to create with you a segment for Guess What Podcast.
Okay.
Solely in regards, yes, and but just the different perspectives and approaches. You can come with a different story every segment whenever you want to come on for it. From the journaling, like a journal excerpt, maybe.
I'm not reading my journal. Because y'all already judged me just from what I'm saying. I started reading my journal. Y'all be like, what?
You saying if I open the book? If I open the book. But even the herb for the day that could assist with hydration, that could assist with climaxing, that could assist with because I know there's something else besides ginseng that can help my friend out. Friend.
Yeah, especially for men.
What we got? What men got? Tell me men. My friend.
Ashwagandha, which is going to be good.
Wait, where I get that?
Ashwagandha, you get it everywhere. They make ashwagandha gummies. The gummies are good, but they're not strong enough. But the gummies are good.
What would be? My friend is kind of my size. So what would be good for you?
I love your friends. So ashwagandha is a good herb everyone should take because it helps stress. It helps decrease stress. And at the same time, it increases libido. So it decreases stress and increases libido. So it's a sex herb, but it's an adaptogen, which are herbs that are good for stress. So ashwagandha is great. You can take black maca. You can take horny goat weed. There's a lot.
Is it really weed, or is it?
That would get you. No, it's not really weed. It's an herb. It's a weed, but it's not weed.
That went into my next question because I was at one of my favorite stores. And my man was trying to tell me that there was a certain strand.
So I'm working on that. I had someone call me last week and ask me about strains that would. We're talking about marijuana.
Yes.
For y'all who can't keep up. There's certain strains that would increase. We were talking about women specifically.
Yes.
That are going to help with sex, and he was asking if I wanted to work with him and do some research and kind of create our own strands, and we can start marketing our own.
Create your own.
Yeah. It's going to get good.
I want to get into this because I got some shit.
I don't know much about it, so I was just doing some research. Not much out there. Right. I do know that marijuana while having sex is amazing. So I do know that there's marijuana. Yeah, I know that there is something. I just don't. I haven't done the individual research. I never stopped and was like, "This is the strain." So I can't speak on that yet. But given this opportunity now I'm going to do some research. I'm going to start trying to figure out strands and blends and create our own strand that's going to be specific for sex orgasms. Okay. Orgasm specifically, because women struggle with orgasms, and they shouldn't. It's a shame. They struggle with orgasms. It's a woman problem and a man problem, but.
I can't remember if I told you this or if I asked this before last time you was here, but there was someone pointed out a stat to me, I guess, that they said that, or a statistic saying that 76% of women do not orgasm.
From penetration?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That sounds about accurate. Yeah, it's sad. It's a sad, staggering amount. I am not part of the 76%.
So help me understand this. Like, and when I'm about to go into this now, I'm not trying to brag. I'm not like anything like that because I really want to know because now I'm second guessing everything. Like the women that I've been with.
If they said they did, they did. They could be lying, but I can't say. I don't know. I know that's where you're going. Like, have they been faking it? Like, I don't know if they've been faking it. That's something you got to ask.
Are there some things with the organ No, not the organ.
that men can do to help women?
Yes.
Well, the first thing.
Not even that, but that you can tell. Okay, this. You,
I mean,
you didn't orgasm. I didn't feel nothing quiver. I didn't feel nothing shake.
Not necessarily. Everyone doesn't quiver. Everyone doesn't shake, but you should feel an increase in moisture.
Right.
Because they should excrete some things. So
yeah.
if it stayed about the same,
Yeah.
you should feel that. Sometimes there's a tightening, so it'll grip you because it's contracting.
Right.
But some people aren't just in tune. So sometimes just asking her, "Did you come?" will let you know.
So that's a lame-ass question.
It's not lame. Ask her, because if she wants to come, she'll say no. So you can keep going. She'll say no to keep you going. Like, no, I didn't. Don't stop. Like, if she's an adult, there's women who still out here faking it. It's 2021. I'm not faking it for nobody. No, I did not. Put in some more work. But sometimes it's not. Like sometimes it's not necessarily the man all the time. So sometimes there's things women have to work through. There's that whole safety piece, that emotional piece, that being vulnerable. Coming is very orgasming for women is very vulnerable. It's vulnerable for men too, but it's very vulnerable for us because we're completely open, exposed. And for us, it's a lot of emotion that we're filled with. And so it's a vulnerable moment. So it can be vulnerable. And so some women are, if they don't feel safe, or they don't feel like they can, if they've been always programmed that they are hoes and they are this, they are that, they don't kind of want to let that go because that's going to program them more into feeling nasty or dirty.
Right.
They don't accept their body. So there's a lot of mental, emotional parts on it. But physically, there's some things men could do to help. Foreplay goes a long way. Foreplay goes a long way because I think it's like it takes men 6 to 7 minutes of just penetration to nut. It takes women like 16. So if you compare, you're done and we're still not there yet.
Right.
So foreplay decreases our time we need. So foreplay is really important on the woman's side because it helps get us ready, and then you can finish us off. And feel like the man. Come in and finish us off. So foreplay is important.
You can feel like a man.
I got little jabs here and there. Little jabs here and there.
You need to keep working.
Foreplay, just certain positions work better. Because you want to make sure the G spot is important to penetrate in everybody. I don't care your size, your length. I'm not trying to be funny. Every man can reach the G spot. I'm trying to think about the micro movie. They can reach it. They might not really be able to do much with it, but they can reach it. The G spot's not far. Okay. It's like 2 to 3 inches inside the vagina. 2 to 3 inches in. It's not far.
So if you curve and tilt it up a little bit, you always hit that thing.
Not always, because sometimes you're just going so far, you go past it and you hit after.
But when you come back out, you scrape it.
You would think you would, but you don't always. Especially men are really good at beating it up. Women don't need all that and want all that half the time. We like it sometimes, but if you really want to get her there, sometimes you gotta take your time.
I didn't intend for it to go here, but I was about to get a graphic ass question. But go ahead.
We're here. So sometimes, you might need to just take your time and slow the stroke down so she can really feel everything. Women, take deep breaths while you're having sex. Take a deep breath in, and as you're inhaling, in your mind, say this, send that oxygen to your vagina. Because you need to oxygenate. That increases lubrication. That makes it feel good. It gets the blood flowing. You feel more. Don't think about anything else. When your thoughts start getting, sometimes we go everywhere. When your mind starts going other places, take some deep breaths. Be back in the moment. Be in the moment. Be in the moment. Sometimes being in the moment helps. If you're the type who you need somebody to talk dirty to you, have them whisper in your ear. That'll keep you, find what works for you to keep you in the moment. When you're in the moment, you're more likely to have an orgasm.
Interesting. All right, talking dirty. So
it's not for everybody. It doesn't work for everybody if it's their thing. Some people don't like it.
Yeah, interesting. All right. So I'm gonna stay here because I wanted to ask this question back when we were talking about women accepting their sexuality and such, and becoming more sexual. Mm-hmm. Just keeping it 100. I'm gonna use me. I was in a situation where I was with this person for a while, right? And then we separated, broke up, whatever. Get back together, right?
Like you told the story or asked me this question last time.
Nah,
not this one.
Not this one.
Okay.
It's new. It's new. No, this is a new one, Doc. Okay. This is a new one, Doc. But yeah, so we get back together, right? Mm-hmm. And she asked me to do some things that I'm absolutely cool with, but you never asked me to do that before.
So now you feel some kind
You
of way?
did. Oh, I definitely feel some type of way. Like I know that was introduced to you elsewhere, right? Right. And she's like, oh shit, I like that, right?
Uh-huh.
But now,
so that sounds like an ego thing for you.
No, well, it's a bitter thing, and let me explain why. I wanted to do those type of things before, and I want to know why now. You cool with me doing those type of things, but you wasn't before.
I mean, she definitely was introduced to them with somebody else.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
But why?
That's absolutely fine. Why are you okay with me expressing that? And
so in your relationship, in what way did you make her not feel safe enough to do it with you? Yeah.
I'm gonna be real with you. I think in that particular relationship, I was just a rebound. I was never I was never there to make her feel safe.
And that could be what it is. And so don't take it personal then.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't take it personal. It might not have been you.
Yeah.
I know because that's your pride. It's messing with you.
It's so much so that like it caused me.
You can't even get it up and you don't want to have sex with her. I understand.
Yeah, I can get it up. Don't get me wrong.
I know. I'm not saying that you have a problem with getting it up. I'm saying you're just not in the mood for her.
Right. And it's solely because
that's pride.
Is it pride? Or
it's definitely pride.
Is it like I just know
because you know that she was with somebody else? It's pride.
No, it's not about the somebody else part. Like it really is. It's about the part that, like, for whatever reason, you felt comfortable with that person to do that.
So you felt comfortable with somebody else. It's the somebody else part. It doesn't matter how.
So I don't understand how you can come back to me.
Then don't let her then. If you feel that kind of way. But at the end of the day, you have to realize that it's still your pride. And it's okay because you're making it about you, and it might not have been about you at all. It may have been that she liked you so much, and people do this. You can like someone or love someone so much you feel like you have to maintain this image of who they think you are in them, so you can't be who you want to be sexually. I was like that, and I'm freaky, but with
you can't keep saying that.
No. Because I'm about to come around and make my point. With
okay, so, please.
Even with my relationship, in some of my previous relationships, I'd still be down to do a lot of stuff. Okay. But I would hold back sometimes because I felt like if I do this, they won't look at me as a potential for a spouse. They won't look at me as the woman that they want to be with. I had these fears and they were all self-imposed. Right. So I would give to them, but I wouldn't give to them. And there'd be stuff, and I'd be unsatisfied. I'd be like, oh, I just really want it, but I'm gonna go to sleep. Damn. I really wish I could do this, but nope, I'm not going to. I really just want to wake him up this way and get this done, do it like this. Nope, I'm going to go to sleep. Because I didn't want to look. Yeah. I didn't want to ruin my image that I felt like I had to do. Again, that's a self-imposed thing. It had nothing to do with the partner. Yeah. But now I don't really have that. So there's things that I'll do. So if I was to go back to someone who I've been with previous, and now I'm coming with a whole new, they might think what you think. And it had nothing to do with them. It was 100% me. So what I'm saying is it's not always about you. Okay. So stop making it about you. Okay.
Unfortunately,
that
was going to be about me.
But it's too late. I'm going to say it's too late. But I just want you to give you something to think about.
I think it's kind of too late.
It really might not have been about you. It could have just really been that she had to get to a place where she felt safe enough to just be who she was. Yes. And now that she does feel safe, feel honored that she was like, let me give you a piece of this. I'm here. I'm ready now. Even if you feel some kind of way, like it sometimes it's not about you. We make stuff about us. It's not.
That's a hard piece.
That's pride.
That's a hard piece.
Keep chewing that and swallow it, but
that's a hard piece to swallow, man.
Yeah, but it probably wasn't nothing about. Because I know I go back and I'd be like, oh, wait a minute.
Where'd that come from?
You'd be like, oh, just been trying some things. I feel better now.
You just put me back in that moment because now I'm just thinking about what I was told pre and post experience. And it's just like, wow. But hey, I digress. I guess that was a trigger for me. Great segue.
I see triggers.
Yeah, trigger. Triggers. How do you deal with the acknowledgement aspect of it? Once you know, and once it's been pointed out to you, look, like this is clearly, or she is clearly, or this situation is a trigger. When this happens, like, let's go into the management of triggers and the acknowledgement of, like, what does that look like?
So let's talk about me. I'll use me as an example. Okay, I can be triggered. I have triggers. I'm working through some things, Just
I
because
was
I
going
am
to
who
talk
I
about
am.
that because I've been reading your posts. I don't troll you, but I follow
You do.
you.
I was going to talk about that. I was going to talk about how you definitely troll me because when you made the flyer for this particular event,
Hey, the picture is nice.
it was a great picture. I love the picture. But the picture was never posted on my Facebook page. It was actually something I posted on my Snapchat and in my story. So that means you took it from there at that time.
No.
How did you find it?
No, okay. Since we want to know, see, I'm an investigative reporter. Right? That's what I'm trying to be, first off.
So was on a post somewhere that I posted in the group or something?
I did my due diligence, and I went to your page. All right. I look at a couple posts just to get some content, right? And then ask you some questions. And then I know that I need to make ad campaigns. Well, I go to the photos section, and you didn't lock yours.
They're not locked.
Yeah, you allowed.
If you're my friend. If you're my friend.
Right, if you're a friend.
It's hard to be my friend on Facebook. You gotta find me. You can't always.
So thankfully you blessed me to be your friend. So I went through some of the pictures and I was like, what I noticed about persons in general, the selfies, I can't remember the exact term, but it's either like photos by you or photos by someone else. They have those two options. Mm-hmm. Typically the photos by you are like the photos that you're going to send out that you want people to see. Right. So I figured that would be the safest photo that you would be okay with me presenting there.
It was a great photo.
Yeah.
I just wonder where you got it.
I loved it too. And then when I already saw the heart emoji was already with it, I was like, oh, I'm going with that one. She was sending that to somebody. I'm going with that one.
So you be trolling.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I don't though.
It's okay.
I don't because I don't comment or anything. I didn't see some people who troll you. We ain't gonna drop names.
Oh, we can.
But
I'll talk about it.
I didn't see some people that troll you. Wait, okay, I'm just gonna ask, what's up with you and oh boy?
Which boy? Because I don't know who you're talking about.
Is it okay to just drop names?
It's gonna affect them, not me.
You're right, but I've noticed two things. The posts were he would make consistent comments all the time on everything. So much so, I'm going to tell you the story. You're going to figure out what I'm talking about. So much so.
Who's listening to this right now?
Would call, he's like, yo, trolling ass, this, that, and the third. You would say this, get off my page, yada, yada, this, yada, that. No one was even talking to you. You would say stuff like that. But then I noticed he just kind of fell off and just stopped. But there was a couple of times where, y'all was supposed to go out to dinner, and he stood you up, or you stood him up. Y'all was going back and forth, couldn't schedule it. Like I said, I don't troll you.
I really don't.
He plays. My daughter's calling. He plays flag football.
So let's talk about him.
Let's
talk about him. First of all, he's the troll of Facebook. He's not the troll of Dorian. I know exactly who you're talking about.
This is true.
He's the troll of Facebook. Ain't none of that personal for me. He wasn't trolling me. He trolls Facebook and women on Facebook.
This is true.
It wasn't me.
This is true.
First of all,
it's a technique.
I was really like, what are you talking about? Now I know who he's talking about.
Yeah.
That's my legit. When he's not trolling, he's good people. Friend. He is good people.
Yeah,
he's a friend.
I would agree.
But he's not. Never has been. Never will.
What happened? He kind of fell off. I don't see his activity.
No. He's not on Facebook right now. He's taking a break from Facebook, working on himself.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, he's like I said, he's a friend.
I did that for 2 years.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I mean, I didn't feel like I needed to do that for me, but he needed to do that for him, and I support him. Oh, well. I support him, but it's never been. He's a troll. And he knows he's a troll. And if he's listening to this, you know you a troll.
It's all good, big dog. That's why I didn't drop his name. I know. That's why I didn't.
Because if you would have dropped his name,
everybody would have been like, You're absolutely right. I see him on groups.
And what's so funny?
Because I read. I just do a shit ton of reading.
What's so funny is half the people listening know who we're talking about.
Oh, yeah. They figured it out now.
They know who we're talking about. That's what he does.
They figured it out.
That's what he does. He's good people. But we've never been more than just. It's never been more than what you see on Facebook.
Gotcha.
It's never.
Gotcha.
I thought you knew my real business. That's not real business.
Oh, what's your real business?
You didn't find that out, so I guess I'm doing a great job of keeping it to myself.
Okay. Well, I mean, you don't have to. We're all friends. We're friends.
I just put a post up yesterday about how you don't tell people certain stuff.
I know. And I said I said, hey, we got something to talk about.
We're not telling certain people certain things because tell you what, people already. The few people who do know, there's been hate already, so we're not going to add new hate.
Well, I ain't going.
I know you're not gonna hate, but we're not about to put it in front of hundreds,
people. I got
hundreds and thousands. I think there's
it's thousands. Let's do thousands. Yeah.
No.
Matter of fact, you can share some of your listeners, your friends, your support.
I shared it.
Hey, I want to talk about this shit. Now, I am about to go in the left field. Tell me how you feel, because you're a powerful woman. You're doing your own thing. You have your own practice. You still need support from your community, from your family, from your friends, and even recurring clients, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I have two different business models. I understand that with my behavioral health agency and now with this. But with this and this platform, I got 1,000 friends on Facebook.
I have like 4. And I don't get nowhere near enough business.
You know how many? That's that. Okay.
That's what you was about to talk about.
I was really about to go.
I was like, we'll go back to triggers in a minute. We can stay right here.
This is a trigger for me. This is a trigger for me. Like, let me be real.
But you know what? I don't remember what that meme is or that post is that I've seen. But they say usually your biggest supporters are people who don't know you. And it's
this is
like,
true.
You know, I was raised in the church. So
I got people in euthanasia treat me like.
Listen.
Direct.
So this is taking me back to my, I'm born and raised in church, so I know the Bible really well.
Yeah.
There is a scripture that says a prophet is never received in his own town, which is kind of meant that his own people and your people will not see you for who you are half the time, because they see you for who they knew you were. They see you for who they think you are, but they don't see you for the potential of what you have, and they don't recognize the greatness that you hold. So they don't support you. Yes. And guess what? I still love y'all.
Love them to death.
But on the same
it's a big one,
because I'm kind of petty. So I love you. But when I blow up,
let me expand your screen for you so I get you. It's just you. Go ahead. It's just you.
I love you. And I appreciate the support that I do get. Yes. But for those who don't support me, who are waiting to see, is she really real? Does she know what she's talking about?
Yes.
Does she know her stuff? Is her business going to be successful? You kind of waiting to try to figure it out. When you figure it out and you see that I'm successful, it's going to be too late.
Yes.
I'm going to know you, but I don't know you. Just like you don't know me like that right now. And guess what? No love lost. I'm still going to hug you, be good. But don't try to call me. Don't try to come when you see me on tour trying to get a free ticket. Because Dorian, I knew you didn't.
No, you didn't.
Buy a ticket like everybody else.
Like everybody else.
I'm just saying. And I personally, I think this might be a trigger for both of us. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's go.
I personally just get upset because I am one of the biggest supporters of everybody. Now, I'm busy and I'm doing a lot of stuff, and I do too much. I do too much, and that's just real talk.
Too much on the plate.
But what I do is I will support everybody. If you ever go on my page, I've shared everybody's stuff. I'll tell people, I'll suggest people, I'll refer people. And so to not get that same love back sometimes from people who say that you're friends and say they love you, but they not going to share your stuff. They don't show up to your events. They don't do anything for you. It starts to sting. It starts to hurt a little bit. And so what I've realized now is I'm not supporting and not pouring into people who don't do the same for me. So some people have noticed that I've fallen off on their behalf. Oh, well. Where have you been?
Right.
So that's just the way I am now. And I had a friend tell me, she was like, you always share everybody else's stuff. Do they share yours? And she was like, me included. Do I share your stuff? She was like, no, I go for my business. You just go for yours. And when she told me that was an eye opener. You're right. You don't, they don't, I don't.
There it is.
That's just the way it is.
It's definitely a trigger for me. Like, I don't understand it. I got, like I said, 1,000 people. I should at least have 10 subscriptions on YouTube. I should know the first 10 subscriptions.
You should.
I should.
You should.
The first 6 are all me.
I'm not on YouTube. I don't even know how to use it really.
No.
I put the link and if it play, I play, but I don't know how to use it outside of that.
I didn't play. I play.
But what I'm saying is, that's the thing. You have to realize that you can't let. I'm sorry. You can't determine who you are. Like, you can't measure your greatness and your potential and how successful you are based off of those who support and don't support you. So even with my business, it's taking off slow, but I keep telling myself every day, oh, I'm blowing up. Oh, I'm blowing up. Oh, I'm blowing up. And guess what? The support that I get, the patience that I get, ain't nobody I know. Ain't nobody I ever heard of before. They never heard them, never seen them. And then people I do know, I'm sitting there seeing them ask questions about, I'm like, nigga, you know I do that.
Right.
But be sick.
Right.
You good. Don't come to me. Don't come to me when it's real broke and you want me to try to fix it. You could have been, listen,
it's real
go over there to the other people who could have been helping you. You know, it frustrates me a little bit. But
yeah, that's what he triggers.
It is. talking about triggers, and I was going to talk about me as an example, but I didn't even realize that this was a trigger until we went there. But it really did trigger me. And so now, how do I deal with my triggers?
Yes.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about what I do. Let's talk about what I do. See, this is why I'm co-host. See, I can flow.
Yes, let's flow it. Let's flow it. Yes. Go ahead.
So what do I do after I'm triggered? So I'm in this season of my life where I'm doing a lot of work on myself.
Yeah.
I'm doing a lot of shadow work. I'm doing a lot of self-reflection. I'm doing a lot of growing into myself, which is causing a lot of friction in my life.
Okay.
Because when you start becoming who you are, people are used to who you have been, and when you're different, they don't.
They don't like that change or the transition.
They don't like that change because it puts them in a different position in your life because they've been benefiting off of you kind of not knowing who you were,
yes,
and you not having a voice.
Yes.
And so once you have a voice, now you got an attitude, you acting different, they don't benefit from you, you change, you know, it's real ugly. And so when I get triggered by things, like that was just a trigger for me.
Right.
I'm gonna go home in a minute. I'm gonna explore that. I really do. One thing about me is when I notice something about myself,
you do the work.
I do. To a detriment sometimes, because sometimes I'm not kind to myself when I'm doing the work, and I have to realize to give myself grace.
Right.
What I usually do once I'm triggered is I ask myself,
giving yourself grace.
I have to give myself. You do because it's work, and you just have to realize it's progress.
Right.
But what I usually do is I take time and I ask myself why. Why did that trigger you? And I just keep asking myself why until I get to the moment it first happened. And it usually ain't got nothing to do with anything in this recent.
Yeah.
Like even the support thing. If I was to be real and just being honest with this, I can go back to when I was a child and I played sports and my family didn't come show up. And there was only one person who ever came to any of my games if they showed up. Mm-hmm. Or it would just be me and they picked me up after the game. And I was an athlete and I was good. I played soccer, I played basketball, I played lacrosse. Oh, wow. And I was good.
Okay.
And so this is your family who's supposed to be there for you and they're not even at your game supporting you. That stings when everybody else's family is there, right? So this is just we just had this trigger right now. Right. And because I'm so used to it. I'm so used to it. I'm used to like, oh, Dorian, why did you do this? Why did you do this? And then I have to go back to that moment and I allow myself to feel what I felt in that moment. So if I felt sad, I allow myself to be sad. If I felt angry, I felt angry. And then I ask myself, so how can we let this go?
Right.
And sometimes you get an answer right away. Sometimes not so much. Sometimes it takes me time to let things go. I'm human. I don't know how to let things go. Sometimes I need to go to therapy about it. I write in my journal about it. I pray about it. Sometimes it just takes time. Like it just takes time. So like now I have this new trigger that I just found out tonight, thanks to you. And so I'm gonna have to work my way through it and forgive the people. Forgiving them doesn't mean that I forget. Forgiving them doesn't mean that I allow them to have that same position in my life. It's just forgiving them. I let go of the anger and the hurt that I was holding on to. Gotcha. And that's the way I forgive them. So I do that. And I'm triggered a lot, especially once you enter into a progress of you trying to see yourself for the real you. Yeah. Because there was a version of me who didn't think I was flawed. There was a version of me who thought I was perfect. There was a version of me who was like, I'm not causing no trouble. It can't be me. It wasn't me. It was you. It was you. It was you. There's a version of me like that existed. Now there's a version of me who's like, ooh, Dorian, you bogus. That was you. That was you. You caused that argument. Oh, you started.
Whistleblower.
Right there. Like, ooh, we Dorian. Yeah. You was dirty, dog. You was doing people wrong. And so now, with grace, because if not, I'd be like under a rock. Like, you are a horrible person. I'm just doing the work and slowly trying to work my way through it. When I don't know what to do, I have a therapist. I'm in this group class now doing the shadow work, so I'm being directed, kind of doing me. And like I said, I give myself grace. When I still am triggered, even if it's things that I've worked through, I don't beat myself up about being re-triggered. I just realize there's another layer to what I thought I had already done. There's another layer to the work, and I just got to dig back in and find out what it is. And I forgive myself. You have to forgive yourself for some things, and forgive yourself for allowing yourself whatever moment of whatever you had. Just forgive yourself. You're never going to be perfect. If you were perfect, there would be no reason for you to be here.
You don't have no work left. Self-improvement, self-development.
Yeah. So there's always going to be layers. There's always going to be things to come up. It's just, I'll be better than I was yesterday.
Yeah. I think the progressive person, or being a progressive person, you understand that, it's continuous work, but you got to pull back layers.
Yeah, there's layers. I went to, I had Reiki done last week. Let me stop and shout out this amazing business in Phoenix. It's called It's All About You Holistic Studio.
It's all about you.
It's all about you.
It's all about you, Holistic
Studio.
Studio.
It's in Phoenix on 7th Street.
Phoenix and 7th Street.
Right, you know where?
Who's the lead contact there?
Her name is T. Davis.
T. Davis.
So I
T. Davis, I would like to talk to you, T. Davis.
You do want to talk to her. I posted maybe like 3 weeks ago. I was having a shitty day. Oh, I was like, I'm done with business. Okay, I'm about to go get a job. I'm not doing this no more. I don't want to work for myself. It's too much work. It's too much responsibility.
Boy, people don't understand.
And I'm coming up short month after month. It's not worth it no more. It's not worth it no more.
Well, you do a lot of traveling.
And so, not spending my money. So it's not worth it anymore. I was like, I'm not doing that no more. I'm done. And power. So I'm just like, I'm not doing this no more. And she sent me a message. She was like, sis, come down to the studio, sit in my salt room for free. And I was like, sure. I ain't even, it wasn't
What's
one of those.
The salt room?
It's like a cave. So there's Himalayan salt all over the floor, all over the walls. You're surrounded by Himalayan salt, and then it's released into the air. So you're breathing it in.
Okay.
And it just brings so much peace. It releases negative energy. It clears out your lungs. It's great for sinuses. You just feel better. I go in there and just sleep. Okay. And I wake up just feeling like at peace. Okay. So I've been in one before. So when she was like, come to my salt room, I was like, there's one in Phoenix. And you're letting me come for free? Be there. Was there the next day.
Gotcha.
And then she's like, I want it. She's a healer. And she was like, I want to help you heal. And she's been giving me services week after week. I have a standing appointment where I go every week for free. What? Like, that's how much she's been. She's done such a great job. I had friends here last weekend, and we went to her 2 days in a row. They paid for everything. We did yoni steaming. We did Reiki. We got massages. We got in the salt cave. It was just amazing. Yeah. And even when she did the Reiki, she was telling me that there was just so much work that it was like a thin layer that she could pull off. But I as a person couldn't even release what I needed to release while she was doing the work. Because I had so much junk that I'm dealing with.
Gotcha.
And so there's just layers to the healing. And so I'll go back next week.
I need to experience that.
You need to experience her whole studio. I mean, the massage I heard was amazing. I didn't get a massage with my friend. She was like drunk when she walked out there. She could barely walk. She felt so good. The yoni steams were great. She treats you like royalty. She loves on everybody. I mean, her prices are so reasonable. When I saw the prices, I was like, dang, that's all you charging? Compared to what some people charge, her prices are super reasonable. And she goes above and beyond. And she is just got such a heart for healing that she'll pour into you. So it's all about you, Holistic Studio. Yeah. 7th Street in Phoenix. I had to shout her out. I would still have to make a post about last week because it was so phenomenal. And we went 2 days in a row. My friends were here. So I was supposed to get married this past Sunday. It was supposed to be my wedding. And so my friends still came out. Like I was getting married, even though I'm not getting married. Right. And so we still partied, but they came, a few of my girlfriends came early. Most people came Friday. They were here from Tuesday. And so Wednesday and Thursday we went and just got loved on and healed. And it was just magnificent.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that in regards to the studio.
You about to go into the marriage part?
No.
Oh, okay. What are we about to say?
I don't think so.
Okay. It
was about me trolling you in the post I read.
Okay, go ahead.
It's anniversary.
Oh, my father's death. He died on the 26th of September, so his anniversary is Sunday. Today is actually the anniversary of the day he had his stroke. So this is the day I got the call that he had a stroke. I'll never forget that day. At first I got the call he had a stroke. I was like, okay. It was cool, cried, but I wasn't. They were like, he's getting worked on. He was talking in the ambulance. I was like, oh, okay. So I was crying, but I was like, okay, he's going to be good. It was the second phone call, but it felt like the bottom just dropped out. Like I literally lost my whole feeling. I'm so grateful that I did have somebody there. He caught me at that time, but I literally just fell because they were like, I answered the phone, she was crying. I just knew I had lost my dad then. But he lost consciousness on the way to the hospital. The brain bleed was in his fourth ventricle, which controls your involuntary function. So he couldn't breathe on his own. He wouldn't be able to eat on his own. He couldn't open his eyes. So he could hear us, but he couldn't open his eyes. He couldn't breathe. He couldn't eat. So today is the day that I got the call that it happened. Okay. So today is, but I've been super busy. I teach at GCU. So I've been I was at GCU at 7 a.m. because my class is from 7 to 8:30. And then I went to the clinic.
What are you teaching?
Anatomy and physiology.
Oh, wow.
So I had my lecture this morning and then I left there and then I had patients and I literally had patients up until the time I've been here. So I've been so busy that I haven't had time to just
Right.
sit with it, which has been great because this year has been a rough year. This is the second year and it's been rough. So yeah.
I'm curious, and the reason I brought it up was I could tell in how you posted it and just the words and the verbiage that it was something sentimental and it was serious.
Yeah.
Me, I'm kind of hesitant on posting things of that nature, like when I have those type of experiences and I have that moment of reflection, right? How are you able, or how do you feel about it? How are you able to share that type of information and make yourself vulnerable in that life?
I haven't always been vulnerable. I'm a little bit of a thug, so I don't like crying in front of people, right?
Thug.
Yeah, gang, gang.
Okay, gang.
So I haven't always been vulnerable, but
Yeah.
over the last 2-3 years, I've realized that my vulnerability opens me up to greater healing, opens me up to greater opportunities. When people can relate to you and they see you being vulnerable, they're drawn to you, and that's been helpful for me.
Okay.
Even with my breakup, I was on accident vulnerable.
Right.
Like I got on Facebook, I thought I was just come on here and just talk about healing, and then I was like, why am I
Okay,
crying?
right.
Oh, it was bad.
Okay,
And I mean, ugly cry. Like the
Yes.
video was still, y'all, it was the
it's still up.
cry. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. It was the ugly cry. So I was like, but from that moment, the amount of people who either became patients, who either came to me and told me I'm going through something similar.
I was one of those
that
persons.
I didn't think I was going to live. You know, the people that were affected by that made me realize that even though it's hard to be vulnerable, sometimes being vulnerable saves someone else's life.
Yes.
And that's what I needed. I had this one girl, she said she's been in her room for 1.5 years because she lost a significant other and she didn't think she could live anymore. And she watched my video and she got out. She was like, I'm done. Stuff like that, you're like, you know what?
That's it.
I'm gonna be more vulnerable. So, and I'm an extroverted person anyway, so it's like I can talk about things and I can talk about stuff and not show you the emotion behind it. So I'm real good at talking about stuff and not showing you the emotion behind it. So for me to now be able to add the emotion to what I'm talking about, it's like, oh, okay, this is
like icing on the cake.
Yeah, it's a new level of vulnerability because I don't have secrets. I've never had secrets. I can tell my family, they would say that growing up. Like if Dorian did something and you ask her, she's not gonna tell you on her own because that's stupid. But if you ask me, I'm not gonna lie either. I'm very honest and open. I'll tell you whatever you ask me. I'll give you the truth. But I'm not gonna just volunteer. See, you about to take it. You about to run I see you in your eyes. But I don't know. I don't ever let people see the emotional side of me. So that is different. That is new for me. And even now, like in my interactions with people, I still struggle to let them know how I'm feeling. Like it's hard for me to let you know how I'm feeling because I feel like once I do that, I'm opened up to the possibility of being hurt. And so that's just being honest with y'all. So it takes some time for me to be honest with my emotions. But with my dad, it's just like, I mean, who am I hiding from? You can't lie and act like that didn't hurt. That shit was rough. Right. That was unexpected and then on top of the fact that I still struggle with the fact that I had to make the decision when to take him off life support. That is the hardest. No one should ever have to make that decision. If you hear my voice, do your advance directives, make a will, get the people know if anything happens to you, what you want to have done. Because for your child, and I'm old. I'm not gonna say how old I am, but I'm old. For me to have to make that decision, that was the hardest thing I've ever had to do, and I still struggle with did I make the right decision? Where it would have been just so much easier if I could have just read a piece of paper and be like, he said this what he wanted. This. Yeah.
Gotcha. So have those in place. You talked about doing the truth, being truthful and honest and direct. So you ready? Mm-hmm. When are you coming back?
Well, back here?
Yeah.
When you would put me on the calendar?
All right. What is your segment going to be?
I'm
talking about your regular day. What's the title of it? You thinking about it? Like I'm serious. Because you just did a segment. Oh, we're going to wrap up with a segment.
Oh, how long have we been on?
Oh, we've been on for a while.
I can talk. So
we've been on for 1:08 and about some people have been rocking with us. So I appreciate that. Thank you all listeners. We kind of got into it a little bit.
Yeah, we've been going in and out.
Yes, we discussed a lot, but we are going to do this segment because you segued to it. So I'm going to do it. I believe this is the right key. Yeah,
just ask Dorian anything. Yeah. Oh, God.
Here you go. So the Minority Report. You ready for this?
I don't think so.
Because this is serious, and we changed a little bit. But how about this? Inflation is ridiculous. It's gone up, right? Mm-hmm. What also has gone up is the whole minimum wage thing. Your wage is $15, not a good deal. Okay. There did a comparison from inflation to the price wage going up, or to the wages going up, and then looked at it 5 years and they said that you're actually, even with this increase, because of inflation is so bad, you're actually worse off. Now that $15 of persons on minimum wage is really, if they was to date back 4 or 5 years, it's still that 9 or 8 or 7, whatever it was. I don't know, but it's lower than that now, meaning that those persons are actually worse off. It did nothing for them
because of inflation.
Because of inflation.
Mm-hmm. Well, also anytime you talk about wages increasing, you are risking inflation going higher. I studied economics in school before I went into medicine and science. And one of the rules was that as minimum wage goes up, inflation is going to go up higher, because now businesses are trying to recover what they're losing. And so it goes up at a higher rate. So sometimes we always bargain, let's bring the wages up. It might not be the best way to do it, because the businesses, the private sectors run things. Run it. So you're taking their wages up. They're like, bet. Now all the prices are going up. All the tax, everything goes up.
Orange juice is now $8.
You can't afford it.
Right.
So it's like one of those can't win. Yeah, you can't win for losing thing. So I didn't expect the wages going up to help us. I just knew that it would make it worse. Because that's what the rules in economics told me.
All right. Well, that was the Minority Report. That was my statement.
Okay. I was nervous.
Now, wait. I got what we can talk about now. Hold on. Here's the next segment. Here we go.
Oh, the voice and everything.
Yes. So, you got an about last night story? I got one. You want to share?
About last night? About literally yours? About what I did last night?
I'll show you.
Oh, that ain't nobody's business. That's my story. It ain't none of your business. That's my last night. No, you know what? Last night I went to sleep.
Afterwards?
Nope, before.
And then woke up.
Sleep. I was tired last night.
Gotcha.
So that's my about last night story.
All right, my about last night. I did the same thing, man.
After.
I did the same thing. I went to sleep. I fell asleep. No, man, this has been awesome. Well, this is
Guess What Podcast.
And if you want to know about us, ask some questions, reach us. If there's anything we can help you with, listen to my girl Seth real quick.
Hey, need some advice or just want to ask a question?
What you need to do is hit us up at Zia Wellness Guess What Podcast at gmail.com. Holla at us.
Like my man D Rush says, holla at us. It is what it is.
Yes.
We will be here. We're always here.
Tell D Rush I said, what's up?
I definitely will. You know, he's with the fam band right now.
Tell him he's all y'all on punishment though. I just don't want you to think. I just don't want y'all to think that I forgot.
so when you come back,
we were supposed to go on tour.
Hey, speaking of which, see.
No, speaking of which, we didn't.
You want to go this Sunday? Well, I'm going. You want to go?
I can't go this Sunday.
I'm the only one.
Tell me.
When you was just in Vegas, I'm going. What's up?
I had a wedding in Vegas. Stop trolling me. Half the people I know and talk to on a regular basis didn't know I was in Vegas.
Hey, well, when you making those posts, that's why I started doing those same type of posts. I saw you was on a plane taking the pictures. I'll be right back. Guess what I did 3 days later? I'll be right back. I'll be right back too. That's it. I did it too. Like, since that's what we doing now, I'll do that too.
I've had a great summer.
I'll do that too. Yes, you have.
Thankful to a special friend of mine, so I'm appreciative.
Special friends. Well, don't they come in handy? I'm just looking for a nice song for us to go out to. You got any suggestions?
No.
What?
Backstabbers.
What? What is that? Like
smile in your face.
Okay. All right.
I'll take your place.
We go with it.
Let me stop. No, you don't have to play that song.
I'm curious to hear it. Like, I'm real curious to hear it.
No, you don't.
We done had everything time now. Well, then
I'll
play.
be back, y'all. And
I'll
if
play
you don't
mine.
hear me back soon,
Oh,
make sure you send an email to Azalea Wellness. Guess what podcast?
There you
at
go.
gmail.com.
Look at you. Look at you. And where the hell is Dr. Dorian? When's she coming
And
back?
ask where I'm at.
When's she coming back? That's
Help
what's
me
up.
out, people. Help me be great. Email them. Blow them up.
Blow me up. That's how you feel about it? All right. That's how you feel about it. Why is it taking my thing so long to play, man?
I don't know. I don't know about it.
I don't see. That's ridiculous. There we go with it. Yeah. All right. So we out of here. Appreciate y'all.
Yes. Good night, y'all.
Hey now.
Yeah. I got my money on me.
No, I don't
bet
want
on myself.
I want to go mute you.
I can't expect them to check up on me. Gotta
So I
check on
can't say
myself.
nothing crazy.
I got my money.